Hi all, Jonathan again, Montana Fire Pits. In this video, we're gonna go over the key dimensions that you guys need to know, be aware of, consider as you plan or as you actually buy the components for your gas fire feature. Here you go. Bear with me as I just sort of rattle through some of these key dimensions. Not gonna get too far in the weeds on any one of these. The important note is that these dimensions are not set in stone. They are suggestions. But what we found after years and thousands of these units across the country is that there are some common good dimensions. Number one, overall finished height. This particular one is right at 16 inches. I found that 16 to 18 inches is the ideal finished height. Number two, everything is based on your inside dimensions. It'll be relative, and these numbers can vary every which way to Sunday. This particular one, 24 inches. It's a common dimension for the plate size, but it determines the burner size as well. Number three, height that the plate is mounted below the finished top. 4 inches is ideal. You've heard this in many videos. The reason for that is the tip of these jets on the Crossfire ends at 3 inches. It just sets it down in there and allows room for some media. Number four, this is relative depending on the inside dimension and the burner, but safe space from edge of burner to edge of vessel or enclosure or top cap or ledge or whatever you're calling this top surface, about 6 inches. Can it be larger? Absolutely. Can it be smaller? Yes, but you may want to tread lightly on that because these things generate so much heat depending on how hot you want this surface to be. Will this surface get overheated? No, it won't. Some other dimensions that you're going to be aware of is how much media you need. We know that from the plate to the tip of the jet is 3 inches. You're going to cover your base material at least a depth of 3 inches. Now on our site, we've done that math for you so that you don't have to figure out how many pounds of lava rock or glass or what have you. Media depth, 3 to 4 inches. So now we're sitting in front of a different fire feature. Finished overall height. What are we at there? Oh, 16 inches. Awesome. But the key here are the inside dimensions. No matter what, the thing that is going to determine the best fit for your fire feature are the inside dimensions. It determines the plate and it determines the burner. As it stands, just for some reference here, right? The outside dimensions here are 30 by 66. We're on a patio of about, 22 feet by about 20 feet. It's on one end of a long patio. L-shaped sofa, very common. And the distance from my sofa to the edge of the pit, right here, 20 inches. But I have 7 inches there. And there's a little bit of buffer here. So this feels about right. Let's just make something up right now and call it the way it is. If you want to sit back and put your feet up, is it comfortable? Yeah. So that's how far your sofa or chairs need to be. Inside dimensions. On this particular unit, 16 by 52. Now, is that a standard plate size? in the world of Crossfire burners? No, it's not. Sometimes you're going to have non-standard plate sizes. That's perfectly fine. We can cut that aluminum plate to any dimensions. What's important in this one is how you're scaling the overall burner dimensions with the plate dimensions with kind of the overall feel. The ledge on this one, 7 inches. It's comfortable enough to set a cup of coffee, set a drink down. Again, you kick your feet up and you're still able to feel that heat. Now, of course, the most important dimension of all that everybody wants to know is flame height. And is it going to keep me warm? I can tell you right now that my fuel supply, natural gas, is only about a quarter turn on. It's only got about a quarter of the fuel going to it right now. And these flames are easily, that's hot, right? What is that? That's at least 20-inch flames. Now generally it's kind of right about here, which is at least 12. Right? I don't know if you can see that, but it's hot. So I'm sitting right now, let's just play around with this. I'm sitting about 24 inches away. And I can feel that heat. I can put my hands up, and even sitting back here, I'm feeling that it's warming this space. The most important question that you guys are asking is, are these burners going to keep me warm? Now, is it going to keep you and your wife and your kids and your friends and your family warm? I don't know. I don't know how they feel heat. Some of them maybe run hot, some of them maybe run cold. The point is, these flames are decent hot flames. With every burner, it is the number of jets that are producing the flame. The more jets, the higher the BTU. Now, BTU can be some confusing acronym. It stands for British Thermal Units, right? Call it a calorie, right? A BTU is just a measure of the energy or heat. Science. Now, the larger the BTUs, the larger the overall output, the more flame you're going to have. Again, it is the finished height, which is 16 to 18 inches, ideal finished. Your outside dimensions, completely relative to your space. Your overall patio dimensions, whether it's a rectangle, a square, a circle, or some funky custom shape. The outside dimensions are relative. What you are most concerned about and the planning of your burner are the inside dimensions. It determines the plate, it determines the size of the actual burner, and that determines the overall BTUs, which determines the overall heat output. So, again, all relative to your space, but there are some common things that you can weigh in there. Again, thank you so much for watching our videos. We are so grateful. We hear time and time again how valuable this information is because it can be a little confusing. If you've never dealt with any of this before, believe me, I get it. But hopefully we can simplify all that. Thank you so much. MontanaFirePits.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You guys know the drill. Thank you so much in advance, and we'll talk to you soon.